Today's video is made possible by our friends at Skillshare. What if I told you I found a way for you to buy Snap-on screwdrivers for 1/4 the cost you would pay on the truck? Would you be interested? I know I would be. Today's video we're going to be covering, this will be part 2 of our series, putting together a beginner's basic mechanics toolkit, USA made 100% for under $1,000. Today we're going to be covering the screwdrivers that I recommend and see how they stack up against their Snap-on counterparts. I'm going to place the Williams and the Snap-on side by side, and I'll let you be the judge. Tell me if you see any differences, and we'll take them apart too. Look similar? I was actually quite thrilled when I realized that these were still available, because the last time I talked to the Snap-on guy, I broke one of these handles and I asked for a replacement, and he said, no, we've moved on to the soft grip. And I was a little bit bummed about that, so I was coveting my old ones. But now I need not worry. Apart from the name on them, and you can see the Williams part number on there, they look identical to me. Look at the shanks, the hex there. Even the length is exactly the same. Look at the hardened tips, the profile. Do you see any difference whatsoever? I remember the first time I warrantied a screwdriver on the Snap-on truck, I was surprised when I went into the truck. I thought that he was just going to give me a new one. But he took the handle off, and they're designed to do that. And he put a new shank on and put my old handle back on. So you can just take a drift here. Knock that off. Both have roll marks there on the back. This one's a Snap-on. This one's the Williams. A little different character there, but I have little doubt that this isn't the exact same, tool. Even if we look at the hardened bits, and man, these are good screwdrivers, I'll tell you. Last a lifetime. Okay, with that established, let's reassemble, and I'm going to show you the set and how you can get it for 60 bucks. When you're reassembling these, you can index them. How I like to index them is that when I put my thumb on here, that I know that my blade is going to be flat, either this way or this way. It just gives you a quick reference, when you're working and prying and such, because they're not really set any particular way. You just put it on a solid surface like the back of your anvil, and then tap it down till it seats. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of interesting classes for those who enjoy learning. If there's something that you've always wanted to pursue, or even something that you're involved with that you'd like to have a deeper and greater knowledge of, it's the perfect place to start. Me personally, as a self-taught videographer and YouTuber, there were so many things in my understanding that were lacking, and I was finding myself doing things the hard way. And when I would try to go and learn about video editing, I would get problems with video, bad audio, incomplete things that weren't irrelevant. Skillshare was a place where I could go and have a very clean and simple instructions from some of the top instructors in the business that helped me to streamline my workflow and just produce better content all around. This month I've been taking classes from Ollie, who's a fellow YouTuber who has done a really nice series on how to work with Final Cut Pro. That's what I use to edit my videos. I've made so many mistakes over the years and didn't understand and had clunky workflows. He's helped me in just a few hours to streamline my workflow and cut my editing time in half. If you have a particular skill you'd like to learn, or you're just a curious person like me, I invite you to go down in the subject heading. The first 1,000 people that click the link below will get a free 1-month membership to Skillshare. Thank you for watching, and back to the video. This here is the 8-piece set that I'm going to recommend to you guys. this is the one that I have, in addition to a couple other, but these are the ones that I use 99% of the time. And you could take away this. This is really all you need, to be honest. Everything else is just kind of icing on the cake. This is nothing more than a glorified pry bar. But, but at $60 for this kit, for Snap-on screwdrivers, it's a pretty incredible deal. Now, I priced this out. I priced out all these screwdrivers as close as I could match. Granted, they've got you've got the soft grip handle on the new ones, but that's, to me, it's not worth it to me. And this came out through Snap-on when I pieced them all together, with shipping just under $250 to buy these 8 screwdrivers shipped to you with the soft grip handles, but the same essential screwdrivers, the same size as we have here. That's an incredible difference. $60 that comes shipped versus $250 for Snap-on screwdrivers is pretty awesome. What you get here, I mean, you've got 3 Phillips and you've got 5 standard. You've got a number 1. Your number 1 screwdriver, the only time I really ever use this is sometimes you get little tiny screws on like children's toys when you're replacing the batteries that a number 2 doesn't fit. I mean, really, rarely do I ever use this. This is your bread and butter right here, your number 2. This is the one you're going to tighten all your screws. That's going to be your go-to. And there's nothing in the world that grabs a Phillips screw better than a brand new Snap-on number 2 Phillips. It's really, really good. You've got a number 3 for your large screws. There is another bigger one. There's the number 4. I don't know that I've ever used it. I mean, I think it's so rare. It's not something a guy's typically going to need. Then you're going to have a small one, regular one there. That's nice for small detailed work, electronics. And then this one here gives you some reach. And that's quite handy. I grab this one quite often. This one, I got the wrong size here. This is the number 2. And these two here, this is your bread and butter right there. These guys for sure. This is good for scraping and poking. And if you just need a little bit more torque, you got your mid-sized and then your big one, which usually ends up becoming, if you got a really nasty wood screw or something flat-bladed, but it ends up being more of a pry bar. I've broken these using them as pry bar. And now you can see that all of them except for the little ones have the hex head on there, so it's going to be 1/4 inch fits on there, so you can get that extra torque. 7/16, and then the big ones take up to 1/2 inch. Your wrench goes on there, and that's a tremendous feature. But this is your set, and really, that's all a guy's going to need. For me, it's just as important to have a good way to store your screwdrivers when you're in the weeds and you're working, that you can reach and grab them, you can see what you have, you can, with one hand, it's critical. And I spent a long hours and hours trying to find a USA option for this, and to my ability, this is what I'm going to recommend, and this is the best that I could find. I ordered multiples of them and looked at them and played with them, and these are the 2 best that I was able to find. These are the ones that I have used originally. I bought these off the Snap-on truck, and these are Loopholders, and they're made in Switzerland. They're light duty, but I've had them and used them. They're the best quality. I've used them for years, and they're super versatile, meaning that you can't just put screwdrivers in there, and they hold good too. You can put anything in there, and the more tools you get in there, the tighter it is. It's nice because you can put screwdrivers in, you can put extensions in, it will hold pliers. It's super versatile. It's worked really, really well, but it's an item you have to hard mount. You have to screw it on the side of your toolbox or your cart or your wall or whatever, and it doesn't give you an option. It's not a grab and go option. I have been happy with them, but I've always kind of been disappointed with them at the same time. Does that make any sense? So I tried to find something better, and I found these guys right here. Now, these are made, I'm pretty certain, overseas, but it's made by the Ames, is it Ames? Ares, A-R-E-S company, and I'm really pleased with them. They have a nice, it's an aluminum frame with a very powerful magnet that has a soft foam lining on the back. So if you have an expensive toolbox or cart or something you don't want to mar, providing you don't get metal chips and such in these things, which of course they will, it's got a very powerful magnet and nicely built. Heavy plastic, it's got a good feeling plastic. It has that feel of something that's going to last. and you can hold up to 16 tools with this. And this is going to fit on the side of our cart. You could grab it, you could put it on the side of a toolbox, whatever you want, and super versatile. You can see it's got the spring clips in there, but the cool thing about it, and one thing that's always been a bummer, is I like something I can load from the top. And you can do that with these. So your screwdrivers, if you have this on the side of your cart, they load in very nicely. Some folks asked if I was going to be including a toolbox option or tool cart option, and I will. I'm not going to be doing a toolbox. As you know, I prefer to work out of a tool cart. If you don't have to worry about security, I have sourced a USA-made cart, and that was not easy to find. I had to actually go outside of the automotive industry to find one that was made in the US, but it looks like a nice unit, and that's hopefully coming soon. Also, with all the tools that we're sourcing, I will be providing storage organizing options with each one, wrenches, sockets, and all of that. I put a lot of work into that as well. But the magnet on this guy, on our cart, and this is where I traditionally keep my screwdrivers. I like to have them on the side where I can grab them and I can see all of them. I don't want to work in drawers. I want to see them. I can look and see. I need a Phillips. I need whatever. Now, I have for years, my old neighbor Henry. He was my neighbor, and he was a heck of a machinist and retired mechanic. He used to sit by our wood stove when we were working in the Jeep parts. And he was a smart guy. He would come up with solutions to problems we had. He would sit and watch my employee Tom and I watch us work, and then he would go to his shop and he would make little things and just all sorts of little things that made our life easier. And we had screwdrivers all over the place, and he came back and had made this out of a piece of stainless and bent that and drilled holes in it. And I've had my screwdrivers in here forever. You can see how long that's been there. But the way they kind of flopped around and moved around, it's not perfect, but because of Henry, he made it for me, I've always kept it. But I've always thought that there could probably be a better solution, and that looks like this right here. Now, this magnet's super powerful. I can just tell by sticking it on there. But if we put our tools in, let's just put our set in. Let's load it up and see how it does here. I like that you can load them from the top. That's the way I would do it. I'd pull them out from the top and put them in from the top. So there's our regulars. Plenty of room for a few more. If you wanted to add, if you had some specialties, like the long ones, you can put that in the set right there. I like that they're adjustable. That's really nice. And even, I think it'll even hold a stubby, which is always hard to find anything that will hold a stubby. That's super secure. It's not gonna rattle around. The magnet feels strong. Hi, Mama. What are you complaining about? You got a fire. Still have room for maybe even a couple more. So if you had something specialty, or you wanted to put your small tools, like a I learned from you guys this is a cotter pin tool. I never knew it. I used it for everything, for taking radiator hoses off to I have used it on cotter keys. Will it hold little tiny guys? Like the little pick? Yeah, it will. Man, that's a pretty nice little unit there. That's about as good as I've ever seen. The magnet seems to be pretty strong. I don't know if I would ever do this, but you could grab it. If you want to take it off your cart, you could grab it and put it somewhere else, or if you just wanted to work on your bench, or you just change your mind. Yeah, that's a pretty robust magnet. Is the magnet strong enough to pull out one-handed? Not quite, but I'm not going to use it that way. I'm going to go in from the top. This is most likely how I do it. I think what the solution is going to be, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that foam off the back. See that foam in there? That's causing that magnet to stand off a little bit. That's just going to it's just going to grab metal shavings. It's not going to do any good anyway. So peel that off of there. Then that magnet, I think, will be closer. That might be a good option, but it's up to you. You can do what you want. I don't think it's prohibitive. If it's a big problem, run a couple machine screws in there like the SnapOns, but that's a nice option, having that magnetic, and I like that they don't shake. Let's see how we're doing with our budget. Now we're in part 2, and we're just a little over 10% of our budget. Our goal is to be able to put a professional homeowner kit together, USA made, Snap-on quality for $1,000 or under. We're at 26, we're at 48 for our flex handle, and we're at 61 for a total of $135. Now the equivalent Snap-on tools are at or near, if we were to add those up, with the Snap-on holder, with the Snap-on flex ratchet, and then the equivalent of the Snap-on screwdrivers, that comes up to $461. So our kit as it stands, we're looking pretty good, and we're really close to that 25%, and I don't see that we're making any sacrifices here. This is a beautiful set, and 2 videos in, I think we're doing pretty good. Every screwdriver a professional homeowner is going to need, you're going to have a kit that you will hand down to your grandkids that you will love using, that are exactly the same as Snap-on. We've got the beautiful flex head ratchet that we reviewed last time that I recommended there at $48, and then we've got a nice way to hold our screwdrivers and keep things organized. I think we're on a road to a good set. This is a really solid start. If a guy could set aside $150 a month, you could build this kit up well within a year and have tools that you'd be super proud of and that you just love to use. In closing, I wanted to make clear that all of these tools were paid for full retail by me with my own money. I have no dog in the fight. This is what I've selected. I'm not beholden to anyone. All of this whole series will be tools that I source, again, without any sponsorships or anything. So I can be objective. It's the only way you can do it. I will put links to Amazon links in the subject heading and pinned to the comments if you'd like to order these. Shipping on these is free right now. I would move on it pretty quickly if you're jumping on this video because they might sell out. I don't know when they'll be back in stock, but I'll also create a playlist for this that you'll be able to go back and reference it if you're buying these over time. And again, I'm not telling you what to do or to buy. I'm not telling you that this is the best of the best. I just did the best I could to research what I felt to be the best value for the money, but also something that you're going to be proud of and that it's going to give you the fizz when you see it in your toolbox, that you're going to enjoy it and that will serve you well. And if we can find something better, we'll replace it. And I look forward to the comments. Please, if you enjoyed this series, take a moment to share it with your friends if they would benefit from it, and click the thumbs up and comment. And if you have any suggestions or you know of ways to source high quality USA tools, let me know. I know there were a lot of recommendations in the last video for German and Japanese and different tools. We may do that. We may do a series where we feature German and Japanese depending on how well this does, but this series is just for USA tools. So I'm still working. Tools are coming in. I got shipments every day. We'll try to keep it under $1,000, but if you order these tools, you're going to be happy with them. They're good. It's good quality stuff, and all USA made. Thanks for watching. May God bless you and your families. Please keep us in your prayers. Mama, are you not getting enough? I get a lot of hate. Some people take offense that maybe they're just not cat people. Like, oh, I'm unsubscribing. You have a cat? Of course, no. Only a fool wouldn't have a cat, a barred cat. Do you know how many mice I have in my shop, chewing up my wiring, chewing up my clothes, getting in my stuff, making messes? 0, because Mama Kitty takes care of business around here. So you always want to have a barn cat, don't you? Yeah. Thanks for watching. Keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your families. We'll see you all on the next video.